Let's see if this deck truly has infinite potential. This deck was inspired by Chump's video using a very similar combo, but I figured instead of taking the StarCraft cards, since I really don't like them that much, what if we did the combo with Drunk Paladin instead? Essentially, the game plan here is we're drawing through our entire deck to get access to our combo of Hand of Infinity, a weapon that has infinite attack that we can then give to the Bloodsail Raider, which then can be dissolved with the ooze to slam down on this egg to make your opponent crack under the might of infinite damage. Now, for the Mulligan Guide of the list, you are going to be looking for a Hand of Infinity. Outside of that, basically, you're going to be looking for early game removal tools such as Consecration if you're playing against aggro. Any draw power cards are incredibly good to keep also, and any cheap holy spells are pretty good too. Now, with all being said, let's look at some game. Okay, Rogue! It's probably Imbue, right? You know, I haven't been playing this deck much yet. I'm curious if maybe just hard mulligan for a hand would be like the play most of the time. I like the variety of draw power cards that we have in this opener though. Also, maybe including like Consecration might be something to do. I think this deck theoretically has potential. But that's not going to give you anything that's going to be great, though. I guess they could imbue their hero power if they... Oh, ooze, that's kind of funny. Drawing Divine Brew. Oh, I mean, they did exactly what I was joking about, you know? Okay, that's good to see. I mean, I liked your turn so much, I'm just going to repeat it. That's actually probably a little bit better of a random generation, especially because it's like, hey, what if I get rid of it? I have to deal with a 4/4 body, right? I mean, eventually you'll have to get rid of this minion, right? So, Hand of Adol here to draw a card, and then we can put a Divine Brew to give it Divine Shield. We could have also used the Holy Light Stick there, but I think that would have been a waste. I mean, again, I guess they can see like what we're trying to accomplish now in our hand, but boy oh boy, yeah. I don't think the majority of the cards in my hand are going to help you out there, bud. Now, the taunt in my way might help you a little bit more. We'll Divine Brew this. Hit the minion. Hit this. I actually probably should have used the Divine Brew first, but that's okay. I'll restore the health on it, and we'll just pass it. Let's draw a card. That could be worse. Also, I don't know if I'm going to keep Aegis of Light in those lists. Keep going back and forth on what I want to cut for the Consecration. Theoretically, Aegis does protect us a little bit better. Oh, also, Finley theoretically is good, but like 80% of the time he's just dead, so he's definitely gonna not make it. Maybe adding... I know I was trying to differentiate myself a little bit from Chump's build, but I think actually having Egg as a really annoying minion for our opponent to deal with might be the honest solution for the deck. What are we looking at here? Random Dragons, go! Sea Shanty's not bad. Also, I guess another argument against using Aegis here is you end up filling up your board with a bunch of minions, and you might need the spots. There's a lot of cards in this deck that actually should probably be cut. This is... Okay, so a little backstory of how I chose the cards in this deck. I had this deck on the back burner for quite a bit. This was actually one of the other Rooney decks that I had, but I was like, oh, we can just cut the Rooney package that I was running in that deck and stick in the Hand of Adol, Hand of Infinity package, since that was not a deck that I ever showcased on the channel. But yeah, when I come up with decks, especially when I come up with multiple decks, and I like the idea behind some of the decks, I will try to reuse at least one of the versions in a different deck. Because a lot of the time when I'm making a new deck, truth be told, you really only need so many spots for a good chunk of the lists. So you don't have to, like, worry about, like, fully recreating anything, right? Especially if it's, like, a small engine. Because this is definitely a deck where I think we should be fine, right? Yeah, I don't know if this deck is going to go up on Monday or Sunday. I'm probably going to lean towards it being on Monday. Just because, I don't know. I like having that wiggle room if I can possibly have it.
The roots lend their strength. Our time is almost up.
It is cool to see Imbue being so popular, though. I will say that. It is like one of those decks, I know it feels kind of awful when they snowball really, really hard to face. But like 99% of the time, like, I don't mind it. Thief Rogue is a deck that's existed for a long period of time. Ooh. For what that would actually give me. I don't think we use it this turn, though. Maybe we do. Yeah, we do. Because I think this should give us a little bit more draw power and on our way to imbue our hero power.
The sands speak, and I listen.
Okay. There's Libra. There's Portal. That's not good. Well, the Sea Shanty is good, but the 3/3 or the 3-cost Norse Damu is not that great for us. Okay, they got rid of our minion. Truthfully, we just need a minion to survive. And hand. That's all we need.
The roots lend their strength.
Yeah, Hand of Adol. Hand of Infinity. I'm going to keep making that mistake because, you know, Hand of Adol is an older card, and my brain is programmed whenever I say hand in Hearthstone, it's probably going to mean, or hand of, it's probably going to be Adol, but it is what it is. There we go! Time for our infinite combo! Let's see how much fun our opponent has once they see this. Just gonna break our little raider here. See, sing a little bit of a Sea Shanty. Actually, we're just gonna go face for infinite. I really want to keep both of these, but I think keeping hand is probably the best play here, and just getting rid of the other two cards because at least with hand we can't easily draw into it, and everything else we could. If we really need to, also on like turn 3, we can slam down Hand of the Dole on their minion, and then use glow stick. Okay. See, we got our draw into egg already, probably. Yeah, we can just buff this up, get rid of the minion, go face. Don't feel like that was okay. Kind of a waste there, but kind of a waste. Oh, both of the flickerings. That's kind of fun. Let's AoE, slam these two down. Let's put a Divine Shield back on ourselves. Okay, now that's annoying. Because that'll clear out our board, right? Okay. Slam both these down, put the last Divine Shield back on us. Enjoy the 2 8/8s that you got to deal with. Next turn we can slam down Libram, which will get us 2 out of the 3 win conditions that we need. Technically, we don't need egg, especially in this matchup, because they're probably not going to be able to keep removing stuff as long as they can't bounce this back again. You know, there is one of those things where I was... Oh, God. That's a little bit of a problem. Coin into... What am I staring at? Ugh. Oh! That didn't do what they needed to do. Okay, well, draw 2. That's not bad. I am getting rid of Niri because I'm not dealing with Niri. Okay, so we're missing Raider. Raider is like the last card that we need. Okay, that might become a problem because they're probably going to have alien encounters, and that's a wall. Let's draw. And draw again. Uh, that's just game, right? I will keep glow sticks and flash of light. I also thought about maybe cutting out like 2 of the draw power cards for like consecrations. Like Hand of the Duel, theoretically, well, probably not the one that I'd cut. It'd probably be Flash of Light, truth be told. Because most times, Hand of Light doesn't do what you need it to do anyways.
Reporting for duty.
That's good. Always good when you can reach your, like, rank goals, you know? I don't know if that's your, like, goal for each individual month or not. Diamond 5 is still impressive, you know?
I remember this place well.
Honestly speaking, most months I would probably just stick at Diamond 5 myself, personally. If it wasn't for the fact that, like, people like seeing me in Legend, I guess, when it comes to videos and such. Technically, it doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter how much damage um, we do to their face, as long as we get the combo online. I will say, like, as much as, honestly speaking, this mini set did, like, bring out a bunch of fun, goofy little decks, you know? Sure, the mini set itself, competitive-wise, probably didn't do jack, but it's still fun from the angle that I tend to focus when I'm playing this game. Okay. I'm keeping this for later. We'll draw 2 from here. We'll go face. Slam down that egg. Because it's not like they're going to have an answer to the egg, right? Then we get matchups where, like this, where, like, AoE wouldn't matter at all. But, like, just to let this deck have a little bit of survivability against aggro, I think that is probably the best. If we add the AoE. Okay, what do we need to see as a top deck? We just need Raider. Sometimes you just get the card. Wait, how much mana? We need 1 more mana for full combo. Get rid of the minion. We'll heal this just to do it. Boop, boop, boop. And then here. Okay, we're at 9 mana next turn. The funniest thing is, well, actually, we probably don't want to jam as much as the combo as we can before we can do the combo itself. Because if we do, our opponent will just slam down a big taunt and then we'll be... Sociopod Druid is... Yeah, it's been a while since I've done that too. The one Druid deck that I haven't covered yet that I want to is Treant Druid. I don't know when that's going to be, but that is definitely on the to-do list, you know. Are they really going to be able to clear both of these? I guess so. You have to not... I don't see... Okay. I don't see what the point of doing it like that was, but that's fine. We're at 9 mana. Okay. We can heal. Divine Shield. Pop this. And then we just hope they don't put down multiple taunts in the same turn and we win the game. There's a lot of fun things you could do in Druid right now that haven't been really explored too much. Depending on what your actual play style is. Low Druid was a lot of fun when I was playing that deck. But there's multiple ways you can take Low Druid.
A true queen defends her people.
And our opponent doesn't know it yet, but it's just GG, right? Because it's hand into Raider into Ooze into... Oh no, he got rid of our minion. What will he ever do? Oop. Boop. Boop. And then boop for infinite. All right, now that we're through the games, let's discuss my final thoughts of the deck. So, I ended up playing 13 games with the deck, ended up with a 36% win rate, which for a combo like this isn't too awful, but there are a few reasons why I think this deck performed as bad as it did. First off, Hand of Infinity is really hard to actually just hard draw within this list. And while you can draw through most of the deck really quickly, having to wait until turn 10 to pull off this combo is not going to win you too many games when you can win a lot more games by just using Flickering, Lightbot, and She Shanty instead. These were both cards that I wanted to showcase at least one more time before they rotated, and this was a perfect opportunity to do so. I had been looking for a fun way to do something like this, and it looked like this would be a fun little combo to try. Overall, this deck isn't missing too much after rotation. It might be missing Raider, and then that kills the deck completely. But if it doesn't, I think this one has a lot of potential, especially if we see something like Instrument Tech back in rotation with a new year. Overall, if you're looking for a deck to use Hand of Infinity in, I wouldn't really recommend this deck. But if you have all the cards, maybe try it out. But until next time, special thanks to our channel members of Daniel Nascimento and Ruben. If you want to help out the channel a little bit more, you can always join one of the 3 membership tiers. But if you can't afford to do that, you can leave a like, comment, subscribing, turn on the notification button if you haven't already. But until next time, bye-bye.